respond to an article that usually appears in a lot of different newspapers when it has to do with conversions. Whenever you hear this topic of conversions, number one of the first things they usually say to people, well, it's a very hard road to go through the process of Jewish conversion. They make it very difficult because we have to have a quality of Jews coming in. And some of the reasons why they say this also is because of the rate of assimilation and the persecution and all the problems that the Jews have had throughout history. However, as we look at history, when the Jews were persecuted prior to, for example, during the period of time of Rabbi Gershom, where he gave a cherem regarding polygamy and even the treatment of those who had converted by force to Christianity. One of the things we saw is when these edicts were given, or these takanots, the community began to be reduced in size. Now, one of the issues of assimilation in the Jewish world is something that the Torah already provides us with a solution to. And that solution is in the Torah, and that is to persuade and bring those who are wanting to be part of us become actually part of us. Whether through marriage or for whatever other motivations, there were given opportunities in which to test the true motives, and even if it was by marriage, it was accepted. Nowadays, with so many different chumras, so many different additional things that were never in place during the times of our sages, we find that the levels of Jews are now falling to levels that basically we're concerned about the numbers of Jews. And instead of being those that are more numerous than the stars of heaven, more numerous than the sands of the earth, we have become, you might say, minute and a small minority. And this, today's leadership rallies and support and say, yes, you see, it's very hard to be a Jew. Yes, it's very hard to be a Jew. But keep in mind, back then, Jews were also very much involved in proselytizing, not like today. Jews back then were involved in bringing people in to the family mishpacha of Abraham, Avinu, Isaac, and Yaakov. Today, they're not. So there's been a push-away attitude in every segment, in every area of Jewish practice, as if to say, we really don't want you. When we see the problems of assimilation and previous persecution, one thing we do have, and that is the tools to deal with all of these problems. So there was an article that was written not too long ago regarding the same thing. As a matter of fact, one appeared in a very well-known internet site, which I responded to, and obviously they never published because, of course, it wasn't of the same mindset. And that is the problem to assimilation. Of course, we have the solution. It's called conversion to Judaism. And to encourage people to become Jews. Obviously, that's not something people like to hear. But it's a solution, nonetheless, that was given by our sages. We didn't have to become part of the nations. The nations would become part of us once they went through a process of conversion. Now, the other solution was about persecution. Oh, we're being persecuted. People don't want to become part of us. Not true. Even today, where there's an incredible amount of people that's hating us, anti-Semitism on the rise, and yet I still get a lot of messages from people wanting to become Jews, and yet the policy is still the same. Regardless of if we tell them, we're persecuted people, we've been mistreated, yet we still have the same response from those in power. This is not to even mention about the problems that we have facing the different processes for conversion. I'm speaking about the Beit Dins or the Batei Din, where even here in Florida, one of the largest Batei Dins or Bet Dins, some time back, all of their conversions, or most of the conversions, are not recognized by the State of Israel or by the rabbinate in particular. And I'm talking about an organization that has over 180 members, and which was the only organization at that time that was dealing with a lot of the conversion issues. I would say over 1,000. So today there's another problem. The problem is that there's over 1,000 converts that if they take their certificate, Orthodox certificate to Israel, it'll be rejected by the rabbinate. 3 little letters, ORB. Completely rejected. So what do they do now? They have to be reprocessed, recertified, in order to be able to have entrance and acceptance by the rabbinate of Israel. What does that mean? That means they have to pay more money. My friends, this is very important issues. If you need assistance and help regarding any of these issues, whether a halakhic conversion or Orthodox conversion that's recognized by Israel, do please give me a call. My phone number is 786-306-8211, or you can also send me an email to rabbiotero@yahoo.com. rabbiotero@yahoo.com. We do have a couple of bedins that are willing to help you resolve the situation that you have and help your conversions be at least validated, recognized by Israel. In this way, you don't have to worry about it anymore. Again, I want to thank you for your time. And this is, you might say, just a little word of understanding of how the whole conversion world is working today. Shalom Aleichem.